Karen's having a little talking to with River here. So again, he's really young and he's kind of figuring out, trying to figure out what she wants. And he's not quite doing what she wants. And so with these dogs, it's very important that we correct them if they're not doing the right thing. We cannot do pure positive reinforcement with these dogs. We do have to let them know, hey, that's not okay. And so she's just kind of saying, hey, that's not what I want. You need to do things a little bit differently, and that's part of the learning process. So how many dogs does a farmer usually have? I think it really depends. I think some of our members only have one dog, and some of them can have like up to a dozen dogs. So it just depends on what they're doing. A lot of times we'll get a dog every 3 to 4 years because we want to have, we typically will have like a dog that may be close to retirement. And then we have our solid young dog that is really well trained and can do all of the jobs we need. And then we have another dog that is learning and coming up. So that way we always have a dog to work. Some people have the time, energy, and resources to do a little more than that. But I would say on average, at least 2 to 3. Yes. So how long does the training process usually last? So these dogs are always learning. They're just like us. There's always something that they can learn and do better. Typically, we'll start training at around 8 to 12 months. And around 4 years old is when we expect them to have the very basics down and have like the foundation down and be able to go out and know that we can do any job with them. But then it starts like the fine tuning. So, okay, instead of doing, like a huge flank, which is like just to move around the sheep, instead of going all the way around the sheep, maybe we just want you to go a couple steps in that direction. Or maybe we want you to go a couple steps in this direction. Or maybe we want you to, stay further back or get a little closer. So we start doing those fine-tuning movements and little training. So do they learn from each other? Absolutely. And they'll learn from watching each other.